And we're back in the studio. This is Lee Garner Late Night Live, and joining me today on the phone is Oliver Serling, who is an investigator for the Society for Psychical Research. Oliver, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Excellent. So, you were talking about some disturbances earlier on. Can you tell us how long they've been going on for?
Well, they've been going on for a little bit over 2 months.
I see, that long. So what did the family tell you when you first started? Did they know what was going on, or did they have any idea that their house was actually haunted?
Well, firstly, they described the events that had happened, and I think I'd like to make it clear at this point to your listeners that I'm not investigating a quote-unquote haunted house. We don't know what's causing these disturbances, and that is in fact what I'm investigating.
I see. Do you think it could be maybe a poltergeist or some sort of unruly spirit of some kind?
Well, again, I don't like to say what it is at this stage because, frankly, we don't know. We know nothing at all about why these forces, the poltergeists, if you like, infest places. We don't know what they are or how to get rid of them. These disturbances have been happening throughout the world since records began, and there's still no scientific proof for what forces cause these occurrences.
Hang on a second, Oliver. Can you quickly inform our listeners what sort of things cause this sort of behaviour?
Well, the disturbances could be caused by externalized feelings, stress, anxiety, lots of different reasons. They focus on a person, in this case a teenage girl as is most common, and they involve shifts of, or transferring of energy.
Oh, I see.
It doesn't happen like it does in the movies. The disturbances are very sporadic, they're totally unpredictable, and obviously for the family they're very, very frightening. I'm currently in the process of calling in some extra help.
Hello? Yeah, okay, I'm not far away, I'll be there in a minute. Yeah, okay, just try to calm her down, I'll be there. Morning, David. Glad you can make it. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Oh, I heard your radio interview last night.
What do you think?
It was interesting. I can see why you've asked for my help now. It sounds like you got quite a case there.
It seems like a genuine example of some truly baffling phenomenon. There's so much going on that, I definitely need help with the documentation of it all.
Yeah, as you mentioned last night, it sounds like a lot's been happening. What's the story?
I was called in by SPR 6 weeks ago to help a mother and daughter that were beset by all sorts of unexplained disturbances. As always, my initial reaction was to firstly determine whether this was a genuine case and, indeed worth investigating. Over the first 2 nights that I spent with the family, I got them to, tell me basically in great detail all of the events that they'd been experiencing. Mrs. Drew and her daughter Kerry were just completely baffled by what was going on, as well as being, absolutely terrified. Objects were being thrown at night or moved and, turning up somewhere else. And I'd recorded at least 20 incidents of disturbances that couldn't have been perpetrated by either of the family members, of things banging and crashing and, just causing havoc all night. Well, over the last 6 weeks, we've had every sort of poltergeist activity that's ever been recorded. You know, noises, smells, objects being moved, patches of water, showers of stones on the floor, items being moved or damaged, and this is all to the alarm of Mrs. Drew and Kerry, who, when I've observed her, she just seems to attract an enormous amount of energy.
What about the young girl? Do you think she could be causing some of these on purpose?
Again, I've been observing her since coming to the house, and she seems to be the centre of where these activities take place. But it's always when my back is turned, always when I've left the room or left the house, which causes a great deal of frustration. It is, like I said, that these events seem to have a perfect timing. Maybe too perfect. Well, all of the evidence that I have actually managed to accumulate so far is back at my place. So if you were interested in, taking part in this investigation.
Hello, David. Right, come inside. I'll grab that for you. David, I'd like to introduce you to Kerry.
Hello.
David's a photographer and he's going to be helping me, recording and documenting all the phenomena.
You're a little late.
I'm sorry?
We had an accident here a little while ago.
About 10 minutes before you arrived, a cup flew off the side and smashed on the floor in the kitchen.
Did you see it?
No, I was in here, but I heard it.
It always seems to happen when his back's turned.
So I keep hearing.
Feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Not nervous at all?
I guess I'm a little anxious. If I hadn't been told strange occurrences have been happening here, I guess I'd be feeling fine, but because I know what's been happening, I guess I'm...
Expecting something to happen?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, we've got to guard against that. We mustn't jump to any conclusions. It's an old saying that if you go looking for something, you're going to find it. Any other house, you hear a noise or a bang, you're just going to think central heating or water pipes, but in here, this house, you hear that, you're going to immediately think poltergeist. We have to be objective, and you have to keep an open mind. The activity, although taking place all over the house, seems to be mostly taking place upstairs. You'll have to work out your own theory on that one, but it seems to be the case. Okay, so in there's the back bedroom. This is Kerry's room. She doesn't sleep in there anymore, she sleeps in the mother's room, so you can use it as a base of operations if you need to. Yep. And then here is the mother's bedroom. Well, this is where most of the disturbances have taken place, and mainly at night. I've recorded more events in here, in this room, than any other room in the house. Just especially since Kerry started sleeping in here as well. It's like I said, this thing seems to follow her around. But I think this is where we should focus on. I don't know, what do you think?
Maybe we have the camera there, maybe use infrared.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Oliver?
What is it, Kerry?
Come downstairs, please.
Okay. Since her mother went into hospital, she doesn't like being left alone, and hopefully now that you're here, she won't feel so uneasy.
I'm getting one of those headaches.
Is it serious? I tell you, if you just get your equipment set up upstairs, I'll be okay down here.
Kit. What happened?
Can you take pictures? Kerry, did you see anything?
No, I just stood up to go into the kitchen and there.
Didn't hear anything?
No, I just heard a crash behind me.
Was you in the room when it happened, Oliver?
No, I was in the kitchen at the time. Are you quite certain that you didn't have any contact at all with the chair?
No, I just stood up and heard it slam down behind me.
Let's get this thing on its feet.
So you didn't see anything, did you?
I was only in the kitchen for a minute. Welcome to the investigation. Okay, Kerry, so if you just get ready for bed, we'll be next door, alright? Good night, Kerry.
It all seems to be working so good. Good, because this is when things normally start to happen.
involves a young girl. What is it about ghosts and girls? You know, are the two always linked?
Well, to be honest, nobody knows for sure, but there does seem to be a very definite connection between poltergeist and puberty and the onset of adolescence, in particular with girls as opposed to boys.
Do you have any idea why?
Well, the mysteries of puberty, that dozing of the psyche before it wakes into adult life, seems to be a favourite playground for the poltergeist. It seems that there's a lot of psychic energy which could be causing this. When the sexual energies are blossoming into maturity within the body, instead of taking their normal route, they might be turned into another channel and be externalised from the body.
I see. That's a very interesting theory.
Normally have to wait long for something to be moved, or more recently for Kerry to be disturbed. In most cases, the phenomena seems to be more vigorously produced when the subject is lying or sleeping in bed.
Why is that?
It's in this stage of REM sleep that the subject more closely approaches that of a medium in trance. But tonight, I don't know, maybe due to the cameras or the surveillance equipment, nothing seems to be happening.
Oliver? Did you hear that?
Where's it coming from?
Somewhere over there.
There's a 1 degree drop in temperature around the bed, but no change in the EMF. David, you hear that?
I'm getting one of those headaches.
There's no change in electromagnetic field.
No, something's going to happen.
Okay, stay calm. Did you see it move?
I heard them land. They must have come from up there.
Did anyone move that? I wasn't anywhere near it.
Why haven't left the bed?
Morning, Kerry. You okay? When are you off to college?
Now.
You gonna have any breakfast?
No, I'm not hungry. Just coffee for me.
I've got to go back to my apartment.
I'll stay here.
I'm popping by the hospital on my way home from college, so I'll be back later.
Okay. By the way, Kerry, did you hear back from your father?
No.
Yeah, thanks, baby. Sorry, I forgot my door keys.
Yeah, I've just been upstairs. Something's happened up in the bedroom.
What?
I'll show you.
What about these noises you've been hearing?
I'm not sure. Could have been a neighbour closing an upstairs door.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely heard sounds, footsteps when the house has been empty. But I mean, sometimes it could have been the next door neighbours, but there's definitely been other occasions when they've been out. So, I don't know. Did you check the temperature when you found this?
No? Why's that?
Well, in order to move physical objects, the poltergeist has to exert a certain amount of force. Cooling of air, maybe. 1 cubic foot of air, when cooled through 1 degree of Fahrenheit, loses about 15 foot-pounds of energy. So that's the equivalent of a 7 kilogram weight being raised through a vertical height of 1 foot. Now, this means that a relatively small amount of air being cooled would release quite a lot of energy, which could possibly be harnessed and hence leave cold spots. Of course, none of this has ever been proven, like a lot of things. Harry? Kerry? It's Oliver. Are you okay? Is everything alright? Did you get the chance to see your mother at the hospital?
Tried calling Dad again today. Still nothing. He's never in or he's never there. I tried calling him at work, but he's too busy to talk to me. I swear, he doesn't want to talk to me. He doesn't want anything to do with me. I just don't know what to do.
Seems to be working. Can't see Kerry too well. She's in the shadows a bit.
It's just outside on the landing and it just got cold. But I checked the bathroom window, there's nothing open. I can't see where it's coming from.
How long ago?
Just a second ago.
That's strange. It's suddenly started being cold in there.
Don't take your eyes off the screen, I'll be outside.
Did you hear that?
Where'd it come from?
From behind me.
You sit tight. I'm going to check with David. Get in it.
Got it.
out of bed. What are we going to do?
Stay there. Alright, speak to me. Come on, you spoke perfectly a second ago. What's the problem? You don't want to speak to me now?
Don't look at me.
Alright, so you're funny, you've got a sense of humour. Well, come on then, speak to me when I'm in the room, not when I'm leaving. Say something to me. Say my name. Can you see anything?
Nothing. You're clear.
I want to know where it's coming from.
Shit! What? Camera's facing the wall.
Any idea where the voice is coming from?
From behind me.
No, let's just wait this out. David. Let's go out of the room. Because everything seems to happen when we're not in here.
No.
You okay?
Yeah.
Try to keep it talking. The microphones are in there.
Why do you want us to stay out?
Stay out and listen.
Well, if you won't let us come in, how can we help you get what it is you want?
You just listen.
Kerry, are you okay?
Carrie's mine.
So, Oliver, tell us about the voice.
Well, the voice just came out of nowhere, literally. It was deep, kind of gravelly, hoarse, sounding like an old man, and not something that a teenage girl would make or imitate. But it was there and it spoke, although, to be fair, mostly not making any sense, and only it seemed when we were outside the room, which also seemed somewhat suspicious.
It sounds quite scary, actually. Did you thoroughly investigate what caused the voice?
We did. We knew it was connected to Kerry. It was probably being produced by her in some way or another, but we were still baffled both by how it was being produced and the information that it provided. David was concerned that it could be phony. All the fingers pointed to Kerry, so we had to try and find out how the two were connected and if she had any answers for us.
You think it's me doing the voice?
I'm an investigator. I have to investigate every fact and every possibility. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But I told you I'm not responsible.
I know that, but we have a strange phenomenon and it's centred around you. This thing seems to know things that you know, so maybe it sees things you see and hears things you hear. Kerry, do you know what mediums are?
Sort of.
Well, they have a very highly tuned psychic perceptions, if you believe this sort of thing. Some claim to be able to channel spirits and allow them to speak through them. Maybe you have a very strong psychic ability and that's what it's tapping into.
Oliver,
Yes.
this thing, it's getting worse every day, and I'm the one who has to suffer it.
Look, I'm trying to understand.
Understand? What have you understood? You haven't figured anything out.
You okay, Kerry?
What?
Kerry, I'm going to let you get ready, and I'm going to go in and check with David. David, I'm going to need you to keep your ears glued to those headphones and your eyes to that screen tonight. We can't afford to miss anything. I'll be outside. Kerry, try calling out to it.
Hey, fuckhead. Are you going to talk tonight or what?
Try again.
Do I have to?
Please, Kerry.
Are you going to talk tonight?
We just lost picture.
Keep that door closed.
Why do you want the door closed? How can we talk to you with the door closed?
You can listen better this way.
Well, what do you want then? Why won't you leave?
I suppose you want to know who I am or who I was. Well, you'll never know. You will be wondering about me for the rest of your lives. Wondering from what grave I've come back from. What carcass and decomposed bones I've slid out of. Well, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that Carrie is mine to do as I please. She's my dark whore, my dark secret. I look into her eyes at night when she's alone, when she's scared, and I always see the back of her head. The dark whore. I pull her hair and I throw her books, then I take her. She's mine in the witching hour, midnight whore. But if you must have a name for me and my exploits, my gravestone reads the inscription, Vincent Bailey, and I'm the dead. I am the gasp of wind at your bed, right behind you, breathing down yours and Carrie's neck. Always watching you, always with Carrie in the shadows behind her.
The voice didn't have any problem performing for us that night, albeit only with us outside the closed door. I had a pressing urge to look in the bedroom to try and see what was making it, but, to see Kerry's mouth. But every time I attempted to look in, or even to take a peek through the crack in the door, it was stopped dead.
How long did the voice speak to you for?
Well, it went on for a frustratingly long time. The voice had the habit of changing subjects randomly and filling every sentence with expletives, so it made the whole conversation process kind of very tiresome and slow.
I see.
But through the whole thing, Kerry's voice, when she did speak, never cracked or showed any signs of strain, which made the whole thing quite unnerving.
Yeah, I can see that.
Are you okay, Kerry?
Now where do we go?
To be honest, I don't know. I mean, we've established that this thing is conscious in some way, that it's got some...
All we've established is that we're making things worse.
Look, we're here to try and stop this, and it is escalating of its own accord. Surely you can see that.
I think it's happening because we want it to happen. I mean, it's us that's feeding it the energy. If we just leave, it will go away. But the longer we stay, the worse it's going to get.
But it is playing tricks.
Look, I've been thinking, where this whole thing is just a fragment of Kerry's imagination? Or just an externalised release of pseudo-sexual or mental frustration?
It's way too early to speculate that, David.
She's making that voice.
And that in itself is not natural.
But is it supernatural? I mean, there's no proof this thing's from another plane of existence or the spirit world. What if she's crazy and needs help? Did you ever stop to think about that? I mean, temper tantrums, breaking objects, writing on walls, now different personalities with voices.
And what about that voice? That voice spoke for over 10 minutes the other night, and it was hoarse, deep and guttural. And she didn't even clear her throat or cough. She's a teenage girl, and if you tried to do that voice for that amount of time, then you'd have a sore throat within seconds. I mean, she spoke immediately afterwards, and her voice was fine. If it is all Kerry, then she is one amazingly gifted illusionist.
So was that something of a turning point in your investigation?
Well, the strain was showing. It was clearly the lack of any solid, tangible evidence. Kerry was acting weirder every day, and the strange voice, whatever that was, just seemed to be targeting myself and David, voicing Kerry's angst and anger against us.
I see. I can imagine that must have been quite frustrating, actually.
Well, coupled with that, David seemed now less and less to be looking at the case from a paranormal standpoint, and more from a psychological one. He thought that it stemmed from Kerry's tantrums, sexual frustrations, and her anger, especially at her father. All the objects being thrown or smashed happened when we were outside the room, and only when Kerry was alone. And I couldn't deny that Kerry needed a professional psychological evaluation as soon as possible.
Hello, Michael. It's Oliver. Yeah, I think I need some help. No, I need to get a good psychiatrist involved on this case. It's just been hell. I've been here for nearly 2 months trying to work out what's causing these occurrences, and with the minimal evidence I have, it's just not happening. It's impossible to say. I mean, the origins could be paranormal or psychological, or maybe even a mixture of both. Well, the girl's sanity is definitely suffering. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, even with my best efforts, trying to understand what's going on, let alone being able to stop it, I don't know, I'm at a loss. I think I'm going to have to go the psychiatrist route. There is one other thing that you could help me with. Could you check a name for me? Yeah, Vincent Bailey. Yeah, would you check local records? Death certificates, so on. Yeah, anything you can find. Yeah, if you find anything, just let me know. I'll be in touch. Yeah, thanks very much. Bye. Hello?
It's David. I think you should get back here right now.
What's happened?
Just come back now. I think we've got something here.
Oliver, this is Mr. William Good from next door. He was outside the house last night while the activity was going on.
Pleased to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time to come speak to us.
No problem.
You might want to get your tape recorder for this one, if you don't mind, that is.
Yeah, no, it's fine. As I said, I can only say what I saw last night.
Okay, if you could tell Oliver what happened last night, please.
Well, yeah, last night I was coming home from a friend's house in the evening about 10:45. The street was quiet as it always is. I reached the end of my driveway. I was just about to walk up the path to my front door.
I suppose you want to know I am. Well, you'll never know. You will be wondering about me for the rest of your life. When you're very much from what carcass and decomposed bones I've slid out of. Well, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that Gary is mine to do as I please.
And how long were you standing there?
Oh, only about a minute.
And was there anybody else in the street at that time?
No, it's very quiet. There was no one else.
Well, if it's all right with you, I'd like to go over your statement again. I want to verify everything is correct. Because, as you can imagine, this changes our perspective on this investigation entirely. And then Kerry's going to be back in about an hour, so I think we better get a move on.
You okay? Yeah, just a minute. Pass torch. Oliver! Where is it? There.
We never told Kerry what Mr. Good said he'd witnessed. I just questioned her at length about the entire episode.
And what did she say?
Well, she was more hostile than usual towards my questioning. and it quickly escalated into a rather big argument. I just couldn't get through to her.
Was it me? Why don't you tell me anything? You're supposed to be helping and you don't tell me a fucking thing. What's going on?
We don't know what's going on, which is why we're trying to find out.
Damn right you don't know what's going on. Do you know what? I've had it with your bullshit and your accusations. I've had enough. I'm getting out of here.
I'm doing everything I can to stop this bloody thing, and you know.
Oh, give me a break.
Kerry.
I can't fucking take this.
Kerry.
Oh, get off me!
Just stop.
Get off me!
Stop. Kerry! Oh.
That must have been very frustrating.
It was. We were all nearly at breaking point. David was raising his doubts about the whole investigation.
It's going to be wrong again. Leave the radio under your pillow again.
I've just had enough.
Well, I haven't. Gary. 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 Gary.
have you done? Get an ambulance! Ambulance, please. Oh, God. Oh, no.
Well, Oliver, that's quite a story. I mean, finally, can you tell us, did the disturbances stop after this, horrific night?
The mother, Mrs. Drew, never returned to the house after her daughter died, so it remained empty for a while.
And did you ever find out who the voice was, or did you find anything about the Vincent Bailey that it claimed to be?
No. We have no idea who that was.